G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. And today we're going to be taking a look at an aircraft that needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever, the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A. Arguably the most iconic and perhaps well-known version of the Supermarine Spitfire, this machine is just an absolute joy to fly, and is also easily one of my favourite planes in the game, especially at low tier. We're joined here by T-Dog the Mighty. A little bit of backstory on T-Dog. He is a good friend of mine that I met at an old job, and we've managed to stay in contact. He's a fellow writer like me as well. And a little while ago I managed to convince him and a couple of other friends to come check out War Thunder. And as you can tell by the fact he's flying a Spitfire alongside me, Trevor's kind of really taken to the game. And so what we're doing today is I'm actually taking him out into some realistic battles, and I'm trying to teach him a few tips and tricks to kind of make him, get him a little more acquainted with air battles, as he is still very, very new, and he is still learning his way around the game. Which is going to come into play. This is going to be a slightly long replay. I'm going to be fast forwarding bits and pieces here and there, because I spend quite a good chunk of this just trying to teach and explain things. Of course, the reason why we're watching this replay is, while all this is going on, we do actually manage to get a pretty nice result out of it. So right now as we take off, I'm just explaining how side climbing works and why it's not always necessarily the best idea to go rushing headlong towards the enemy lines. I'm also talking to them about awareness, about keeping an eye and constantly looking around your aircraft. And while we're doing this, we're going to take a little while to talk about what the hell, why. Obviously I'm down here playing low tier to teach my friends how to play. But I did also mention that the 1A is also one of my favourite planes in the game, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I don't think low tier in War Thunder gets enough love. Low tier in War Thunder is so much fun, and I think there's a whole mess of reasons for that. Like, firstly, you get some of the most pure aircraft matchups ever. You know, you get the Mark 1 Spitfire, you get the BF-109E series, where, like, these aircraft just feel so pure to me. You can still run into Hurricanes, you can occasionally fight biplanes. I always just feel like the aircraft have so much character down here, and that the meta doesn't fall to just climbing to 5,000 meters at the start of every single game. You get guys going low, you get guys making mistakes, you see Ju-87s and SBD Dauntlesses, like all these strange, weird planes you just don't get a chance to see later on. And it's also where I have some of my best memories in War Thunder. Now we've got a HE-111 off to the side, and we're going to be worrying about the bombers a little bit later. Not exactly a priority. So we're just going to fast forward ahead to when we get into some action, as right now me and Trevor are just trying to get a little bit of altitude and look for some targets. So yeah, going back on what I said about the whole altitude thing, regardless, it's just what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to teach him how to play the game in general, not just how to play low tier. And of course, having altitude at any rank in this game is always very, very important. So I spot a couple of Ju-88s, and I'm thinking that's a pretty good target for Trevor. He's still, still trying to get the knack of leading his guns. So when these guys pop up, I'm thinking to myself, that may be the ideal target. I'm also keeping an eye on that BF-109. I'm thinking about maybe I can go and help these bombers out, but I'm also thinking more right now I need to try and keep my friend alive. Got General Phoenix going past us down there in the Ju-88, and I'm going to basically, in a moment, I'm going to tell Trevor to go and just sick it. To go and have a crack at him, and while Trevor does that, I'm going to engage this BF-109 and try and keep him off him, and then I'll come back around at the end and see if I can give Trevor some pointers and maybe assist him in taking down the Ju-88. So BF-109F forces head on me, and this is about the moment I realised, like, oh, maybe I should have chosen this engagement better, as that is a 109F1. And this guy isn't stupid. He knows how to use his aircraft. He knows how to use his speed to his advantage, and he knows better than to try and turn fight me. So he's speeding away, and I'm telling Trevor, which is probably not the best for him while he's engaging at Ju-88. I'll just move the map so you can see. Be aware, because this guy might dive on you, and if he does, you're going to need to move, and you need to move fast. But at the same time, stay on your Ju-88. And of course, Trevor's hanging back. Now, bearing in mind that Trevor and one of my other friends, Louis, they've not got any real flight sim backgrounds. So this stuff is very, very new to them. So just the art of controlling the aircraft is challenging in and of itself, let alone leading their guns, pulling them onto the target. And I've been playing flight simulators since I was about the first flight simulator I ever played was the 1998 Battle of Britain simulator. I was Well, I definitely didn't play it when it first came out, but I was probably about 5 or 6 when I actually first held the joystick and actually managed to shoot down digital renderings of German fighters in aircraft very much like this one. So it's fair to say I've got a lot of backings, and because of that, I can generally transition to pretty much any flight simulator and have a pretty good idea of how the controls work and how energy works, and within about 10 minutes or so I kind of know my way around what I'm doing. But obviously Trevor does not have that. Anyway, got this BF-109 F1 coming around. He's trying to force the head on, which obviously I don't want to take because he's got a nose-mounted cannon. So I get out of the way. I do put a little burst in him, just trying to get lucky. I do have 8 machine guns and they will do a lot of work if I can land a hit. I'm also trying to keep, and I also lose sight of Trevor, which is also when I realise like he's waved off the Ju-88, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, and he's like, he was getting away. I was like, well no, you're in a Spitfire, you're faster than him, just stay on him. And while that's going on, I had to flick back to the BF-109. I'm also keeping an eye on our team, because the team's doing okay. It's still kind of early stages of the match, and it's looking like it could go either way right now. So my eyes are flicking back. I'm keeping an eye on Trev. I'm keeping an eye on the 109. I'm keeping an eye on that Ju-88, who decides to turn around for some reason. So I drop down here. I think about maybe pulling on that Ju-88 for a second, but then I see the BF-109's come back around again. And again, I need to try and put myself between this 109 and Trevor, because Trevor is not going to learn a damn thing trying to fight experienced 109Fs who just know how to energy fight. He needs to start out small, and that's why I have him engaged in the Ju-88. Big, slow, pretty well heavily armoured, but to be honest I don't really care if he gets a kill or not. I just want him to be able to get used to leading his guns a bit. So I put some shots into the BF-109 and I check back on my friend just to make sure he's still on him, and that is not what I want to see. There is a second BF-109 coming in, and I'm communicating all of this to Trevor, also while trying to give him advice on avoiding the Ju-88's gunfire and steering himself onto the target. But now I'm stuck between 2 BF-109s, and that's not the last time that that's going to happen in this particular battle. 109F1 comes around again, and I'm getting a little bit annoyed because they're getting too close to my friend. The 109F commits the head on, and I commit a little bit as well, but I managed to get some crucial engine hits, and now they're on Trevor. So I start yelling at him, Trevor, you need to move, you need to brake now, which he does. And he brakes again, so there's a very good evasion by Mr. Trev there. And I'm checking the BF-109F to make sure he's not too close, and then I try and drop it on this 109 as he's the one who's actively threatening Trev. Obviously I can't really keep an eye on both of these guys at once, but I tell Trevor, just forget about the Ju-88, just focus on staying alive. BF-109E's coming in, put a burst into him. Trevor breaks in the opposite direction again, and he's doing everything very, very well here. This is the right thing to do. And I'm obviously kind of panicking here, but I managed to pick up my first kill by shooting down the BF-109E. And there's the BF-109F on my tail. Missed his chance for a shot, and I instruct Trevor, get back on that Ju-88, like the situation's under control at this point. But don't worry about that 109F, we'll be dealing with him a little bit later. So Trevor, he's looking around, he's trying to find his Ju-88. Oh, I'm keeping an eye on those 2 109s, and the one wings 109 is actually going to stay in the air for quite a while, much to my concern a little bit. This isn't a cute formation here. This is actually just me. I have this thing I do with my boys, as I call them. I call them my boys. Where basically I test their awareness periodically when we're playing together by flying right, seeing how close I can get to them before they realise that I'm there. And I actually had to tell Trevor that I was here. So he failed his awareness test there, but it doesn't really matter. I spotted the Do-217, and so I say to Trevor, we might want to jump on that then, that's going to be an easy target. He waves off, and I was unconscious, okay, those BF-109s are still chasing us, and I'm going to really need to deal with these guys, because this guy is hell-bent on shooting me down. Head on pass again, get out of the way, giving him a little burst. I'm not entirely sure if I did actually score any hits. And the BF-109F1 keeps going, but I must have damaged his engine, because he starts going after Trevor, but I can still just about gain on him. Give him a long burst, so I say to Trevor again, be advised, be aware, there's this 109F coming down on you. You're going to have to be ready for him. But don't, leave the Do-217. The 109F goes to the P-39 as he's flying a straight line. The P-39 doesn't really seem to care. He wants the Do-217, sorry, and I do believe he's going to shoot him down. And then that's exactly the worst thing I want to see. There's a Yak 1 coming in, and I really don't like Yak 1s. Put a burst into him, wave off, and I know exactly who he's going for. Trev, brake, 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 break, and Trevor unfortunately turns into the Yak 1 right into his face and has not a whole lot of time to react. Then I get jumped by the HE100, who kind of came out of nowhere a little bit, but I get lucky and manage to survive. And come back around, I see I've got a shot for the Yak 1 who collides with the P39, but I can still use that energy to keep going up because for some reason yet the HE100 decided to loop over, and I get a fairly good shot into him. He starts pitching down, he's going after the... I think he's trying to get away from me, I don't think he's after the already dead Trevor. And he careens into the trees, and that's where I get my second kill. Okay, so now the team situations are not looking quite so favourable at this point. It's myself, Trevor's obviously down, there's Spitfire 2B, and then a couple of bombers versus two 109s, two Ju-88s, and I believe that's actually it. I'm not sure that Stuka is actually still alive. Location's temporarily unknown. I think he's actually, yeah, I think the Stuka is still alive, but I don't think I ever actually end up running into him. Kill my engine, because I'm going to need to come in and land this plane as soon as possible. I am leaking a lot of things. I believe I've got an oil, or the very least a fuel leak. It'll only take 20 minutes of fuel in the Spitfire Mark 1 because I tried to focus mobility on this aircraft. Trevor's feeling a little bit defeated, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, look, like, it was a difficult situation. You just have to try and analyse, like, what did you do wrong? And this is a really interesting bug, where basically the plane just kind of stops and the tail wheel falls off, but the plane just kind of floats there. But it doesn't matter, we can still get our repair. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit to when we actually get back up in the air. And there's the Ju-87 who's going to be engaged with a Spitfire. And Trevor's, in this point of me having a conversation, this is irrelevant to the replay, that basically about how he should have engaged the Ju-88. He's saying he's struggling to lead the guns, and I'm trying to get him to explain to me, well, how are you leading them? How are you trying to account for the gun lead? Because it's like one of the things that him and I think pretty much everyone struggles with, and it's also trying to reassure the fact that leading your guns is probably the hardest part of this game to learn, alongside having that complete awareness and being able to lock onto a target and stay on him. So I want to try and demonstrate my points, and that's why I'm looking at this Ju-88 right now. I'm thinking to myself, I kind of want to go and get this guy, just so that I can show Trev, okay, well, this is how I would engage a Ju-88. And I've got a fully repaired plane with a full load of ammunition. There's the Spitfire Mark 2B, also engaging the Junkers over there. And the Ju-88 gets a few hits on him. The Spitfire did manage to shoot down that other Stuka though. And I didn't quite realise at this point, which is an error of judgment on my part, that is the fighter variant of the Ju-88. It's not the same one that we were chasing down earlier. So he's got a lot of guns in the nose. And so I'm watching these guys, and I was kind of wondering to myself, like, what the hell is going on over there? Like, why is this Ju-88 trying to turn fire Spitfire? Not realising at the time was because, well, that Ju-88's got a lot of very, very large guns on him, and is actually perfectly capable of shooting down said Spitfire. Spitfire staying with Ju-88, trying to get that awareness thing. I've still got a couple of other aircraft I need to try and hunt down. Of course, I do not know that I'm up against two 88s and two BF-109s. Oh, and a C200. Forgot about him. When I see the C200 pop, I say to Trev, right, so I say to Trev, okay, I've got to prioritise this guy before I can go for the Ju-88, because he is a fighter, and the Spitfire there actually calls for my assistance as well, to which I say, yes, I'm coming, I'm on my way. The Spitfire's going to pass underneath me. The C200, you know, he's only in a C200, he might even be his highest level aircraft for all I know. So I let him pass under me, roll the aircraft over, he tries to come up, realises it's not such a great idea, pulls away, but he just doesn't really stand a chance against me in this aircraft. It's a bit of an unfortunate matchup for him. He tries to turn away, he takes me through a few good spirals, a few good turns, and I do expend a little bit more ammunition than perhaps I would have wanted to. So in the end I give up trying to turn fight with him, I pitch up, and the C200 makes the crucial mistake here of trying to pitch up after me. He gets a few hits, but that's all he's going to get, because he bleeds all of his energy in that manoeuvre, and I gain all of my back, and I cut in over the top of him. He doesn't have enough energy to pull back up in front of me, he tries to turn away, And yeah, big long burst, take him out. I was kind of panicking at this point because I knew that BF109 was coming in. And right here is when things are going to get a little bit mental. BF109 E1 coming in, so put some shots into him, get out of the way. This one, and again, I checked the other 109, he's still too far away to engage me, so the E1 is still the primary threat. Turn with the E1. Where's the E1 now? Going over the top of me. Okay, that's fine. Can we get a shot at him? Maybe. See, the other BF109 is now 2 kilometers away, which means I'm going to have time for one more shot of the C1, then I'm going to have to turn and deal with this other 109. So watch how I do this. Put a shot into the E1. He's out of the fight. He's not a threat to me for the next few seconds, but the F1 is. So not commit to the head-on, and he flies past. The F1 is no longer in the fight. The E1 sets me up for a shot, take him down, and now I'm in a 1 versus 1 against the F1. He tries to pull a head-on. I get a very, very lucky engine snipe there, set him on fire, and that is good night, Vienna, and that is going to be my ace in the Spitfire. When he eventually burns to death, which doesn't take too much longer. There he goes. Now when you're trying to explain basic fighting maneuvers to someone who has only the most basic grasp on of keeping their aircraft in the air, and then you have to fight and kill 2 BF109s at the same time, they probably didn't set a good example for poor Trevor, and I probably didn't really get my points across all too well. But that is still probably the highlight for bit in that engagement, and I think that's kind of the point where I thought to myself, like, I've really quite mastered this aircraft now at this point. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but winning a 2 versus 1 at any level in any aircraft, I think is pretty impressive. The other Spitfire crashes. I think he crash landed, but I think he might still be in the fight. It doesn't really matter because you're not really going to see him the rest of the match. I see the Ju-288's crash landed and is now repairing, so I think to myself, you're not a threat to me right now, but I don't know what this thing is over here. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. And then I make the decision to go back to Ju-88 because the other aircraft is too far away and the 88 is taken off. And as I said earlier, I wanted to try and demonstrate to Trev how I would engage a Ju-88. And it's at that point that I realise this is actually a fighter. So I pitch up just to try and stay out the path of his guns. The Ju-88 does not build up speed very well, especially when he's just taken off. So there's not a whole lot this guy can really do. And so we slot in, get nice and close, open up the guns, absolutely shred his aircraft, wave off. I'm going to roll back in again. And my shots weren't particularly good there. I didn't give quite enough lead. I sprayed too many rounds, but we got a pretty good damaging hit in. And to be honest, it's a Ju-88. I don't need to be too particular, but we are going to regret using up all that excess ammunition. So we come back in on the Ju-88. Not enough lead again, and again I'm using way too many rounds, but we do manage to set the engine fire. So that Ju-88C6 is going down, and that is going to be kill number 6. Needless to say, I'm pretty ecstatic about this result, and as we fly off, look in search of the final remaining aircraft, which I don't know at this point, is in fact the bomber version of the Ju-88. I do grab a sticky note and make a note to come back and record this gameplay and produce the video on it, because I feel like this video does a number of things. It encompasses the fact that over the years, I have really learned my way around the Spitfires in this game. And I've also learnt my way around the 109s because I just know their capabilities so well. And I felt like made a pretty entertaining video to watch, and also I was trying to do something educational. So when I look at this battle, I always kind of wonder, like, if I hadn't been looking after Trev, how different would this game have gone? But that's a question that we're never going to be able to answer. So there he is. It's General Phoenix right at the start of this match. In his Ju-88, I'm the last fighter left alive. I've got a couple of bombs taken off my airfield. They're not really going to be of much use to me. Now remember all those rounds that I spammed off earlier? I've only got about 500 machine gun rounds left, and I'm pretty confident that I can kill the Ju-88 with that. But let's see if I can actually put my money where my mouth is. Am I going to get a 7-kill game? So Ju-88 is taking shots at me from 2 kilometers, and Trevor's asking me why is he doing that, to which I answer, well, he's just trying to walk me off, or he's trying to score a lucky hit. So what I'm going to do is a gentle weave from side to side. Like, if he wants to expend all of his gunner's ammunition, then quite frankly, who am I to stop him? It's just going to make my job easier when I get closer to him if I can catch him on a reload. So let's just do a little bit of ×2, as it does take us a little minute to close the distance on this guy. I'm going to come in from underneath him, just because I don't feel the need to expend the energy, and the J-88 decides to turn. I think he's thinking he's going to try and get his bombs off, because he pretty much knows that he's doomed at this point. It's a range of 0.5 kilometers we open up. Lots of spraying. I put the aircraft on its side, just so that the guns are kind of converging more on a central point around his engine. And I get some pretty good hits, but I think it's either at this point or in not so distant future that I am actually going to run out of ammunition. Yeah. With the last guy on their team right above me in a Ju-88 and absolutely full of holes. So what I do is I sit on his tail because, well, I need to get back to the runway to rearm anyway, and that's what I keep looking at. Looking at the distance to the runway, and I'm seeing all this flak popping up, and I'm wondering to myself, oh no, still got a little bit of ammo, and there's the last of it. Get a few more hits, it's not quite enough to put him down. I can't kill him. The Ju-88 may or may not know that I'm out of ammunition, but I know that I've done sufficient damage to his aircraft that he is not going to survive. And then the other thing I realise is, this guy's about to fly over our base, so I may not even have to kill him. As much as I would like to get 7 kills, I'm not really going to have to. So I start flying back towards the airfield because I'm just curious, like, is this guy going to turn away or is he going to keep flying and let the AAA finish him off? We'll fast forward ahead so that you guys can get the answer, because I don't think you want to watch me just flying a straight line for a while. There's the AAA. Yeah, no surprises. This isn't going to be a 7-kill game for me. The AAA is about to finish off the Ju-88. You can see it pumping away. I say to Trevor, see, this is why you don't get too close to enemy bases. There's the fire. And while I am a little bit sad that I didn't manage to bag the 7th kill, it wouldn't really have done me any good, as, you know, I have almost everything researched in the British texture, and I'm actually researching the lightning at the time of recording this video, and at the time that this video was recorded. And yeah, regardless though, that is still a 6-kill match in the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A. A fantastic little aircraft that I absolutely adore for a whole mess of reasons, aside from the fact that this thing is just an absolutely stunningly beautiful machine. It's also very, very capable, and if ever you need an excuse to go down the British tech tree, this thing's at 2.7 and is easily, in my opinion, one of the best planes in the game. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you all on the next one.